Hey, True Believers, Englentine here with a review of The Multiple Man. Okay, so little backstory. The X Factor that Peter David did in the 2000s was one of my favorite comic books of the 2000s. I thought it was incredibly well written, and they played it off as a detective story, and it worked. And Madrox became one of my favorite characters. I really enjoyed it. It was always like an interesting one, but never one of the favorites. But Peter David turned him into something. So when I heard that they were doing a Multiple Man book, I actually got excited. And then, of course, remembered this is not the get excited because a character that you love is coming back. This is a get worried. And I've always said it, I will say it again. Do not wish for them to bring back your favorite character, because they will fuck it up. Speaking of, let's talk about this book, the Multiple Man. Starts off simple enough. For some reason, Strong Guy and Ilyana, they are searching this vault. It's like, oh, okay, this door's not able to, it's locked. What are we going to do? Strong Guy rips open the door. And while they're exploring, they discover one of the Multiple Man's bodies. And they're like, okay, well, is he dead? Is he not dead? Blah, 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 yada, yada. And, of course, they take him back to the mansion. I guess I should have said this before, and I'll say it now. Spoiler alert. Yep. So, anywho, I will be talking about this book. This isn't going to be just one of those straight-up reviews where I'm talking about how I felt when I read the book, because this really just kind of cements what I've been trying to say. Just really be careful about what you hope Marvel will do. Okay? Just that's what we're going for here. So they bring him back to the lab. You have the Beast doing one of the experiments they never talk about, but they just do it so they can make it look like he's smart. And they're like, hey, Madrox is dead. Okay. And then they go into this because for some reason Marvel likes to do these movie ending things where they do movie beginnings, where they do the first action and then they do bum, 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 credits. Now let's get into the story. It is so tiresome. It really is that every freaking Marvel book does this. Not a big fan. I don't know. The art is fucking horrible in this book, by the way. Let me do that little bit of review. The faces are horrible. Of course, they get more distorted the smaller they get. Like if they're at the back of, in the background, it just gets really bad. This is not a good-looking book at all. And it tries to be clever. This is like they're trying to say, well, I'm a scientist. I'm the scientist, Jamie Madrox. But I'm the real Madrox. I'm just not Madrox Prime. And they're trying to cure the fact that he is decomposing. And so at first they say, hey, he's really smart, but it's smart written by very dumb people, in all honesty. That's what I got from this. I do not feel like anybody in this book has ever put two thoughts together to form a full sentence. And that's the problem with making every goddamn character you come across the smartest guy in the universe. Can we stop with that? Now, of course, in this case, Madrox looks at the Beast and says, yeah, I know how to science, but my science isn't as good as your science. That's why I came to you for help. And he gives him some advice. So Madrox thinks, okay, what should I do? I need to find the cure for my decomposition. And goes off and talks to other mutants, steals one of Kitty's sandwiches, and decides he needs to talk to Bishop. And by talk to, he means knock him out and steal his time control device. Once again, like I said, if you haven't noticed it already, I'm talking about this book. Full-on spoiler warning, because this book pretty much does everything I ever hate about comic books. In this case, it's a friend, or at least a pleasant acquaintance, knocking out one of his other friends or pleasant acquaintance, rather than saying, hey man, I really need your help, instead of talking about it. And that is something I just get tired of. It's like the whole Civil War thing. You fucking killed Tony Stark, so there's no way in hell ever again Tony Stark and Captain Marvel will ever be friends, yet watch, at some point in time, they'll be in the same room. Hey, Carol, how you doing? let's have some chai tea. Alrighty. Do you have vanilla? I don't know. Well, anyway, Madrox immediately comes back from the future and mentions, hey, did you come up with that cure yet? And another Madrox pops in and starts fighting him. And from here in, it shows another thing that Marvel has been doing very poorly, and that is high concept, low execution. It doesn't matter who the characters are, and so far, Madrox has been written as a horrible character. He is a dick. Not fun, not funny, not smart. He's not letting anybody, including the readers, in on any kind of plan. It's just... Oh, it's like Admiral Hodor from Last Jedi, except for more annoying. Yeah, this is pew 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 Admiral Hodor. It is so fucking annoying, this character. Just no fun. That's the biggest problem about it. I think they think they're having fun because, ooh, isn't this a great idea? We're doing time travel. Ooh, isn't this idea? He's a smartass. He's a fly by the seat of your pants kind of character, isn't he? No, he's a dick. He's a dick who treats the people around him like they're garbage, like they're throwaway. All the while he's asking for their help. We have been giving nothing to attach us to him emotionally. All we've been shown so far is that he's willing to hurt people to get what he wants. And I remember when, I don't know, and maybe I'm old-fashioned, but that was what the villain did. But it gets better, I guess, or worse, because he's sitting around saying, hey, sorry, you're still mad that I hit you in the head, Bishop? That was 15 minutes ago. Seemed longer, because he went into the future, lived a life, and then yeah, it sucks. Anyway, that's the kind of thing. See, it's not trying to reach us emotionally. It's not trying to get us interested in the characters. It's trying to get us interested in what's going on. And without knowing and caring about the characters, and by the way, where'd Kitty come from? Kitty Pryde's right here. Didn't show up for any part of the story. And then it just, hi. It's like Boba Fett's cameo in the Star Wars Special Edition, where he just kind of walks by, turns to the camera, waves, and does a little cha-cha off. You know, that's what they do with Kitty Pryde right here. They give her one line. It's like, hey, I'm here. Okay. And then Deadpool Wolverine comes in. Oh, my God. I'm so sick of Deadpool in the first place, but I'm really already sick of any kind of amalgam crossover. So, yeah, there we go. Deadpool Wolverine, ladies and gentlemen. From the future, we find out. And he's wearing the circles on his chest, so I assume it's a Madrox, the Multiple Man, Deadpool Wolverine crossover. Because we also get a Cable crossover with Madrox, and then, of course, we'll see the Hulk and the whole 9 yards. And at this point, the book has gone so high concept and low quality that it just is amazing. It is actually amazing to me that it can be this bad. At this point, I was like, oh my God, this is stupid. Now, I would love to hear from the people who dug this book. Now, I thought this was Magneto. I've got to give it to them. This is where I'm going to give credit. They didn't use Magneto. They used Cloak, which kind of makes sense because, you know, they want to promote Cloak and Dagger on TV, I guess. Hey, isn't this Cloak cool? Maybe if you watch the show, it'll be as cool as it if it ever freaking shows up. It hasn't yet, and then I've seen the first few episodes. Anywho, I digress, so let me get back to the whole Madrox, the Multiple Idiots, because this book is so bad. Like I said, it's incredibly high concept. Oh, look at this. We're going to have time travel. Oh, look at this. He's trying to stop himself from decomposing. It's all things that happen, yet we don't care who they happen to because we don't care about the characters that are involved, including the X-Men we know. Nobody in here is a likable character, and then they say, hey, look, we have a multiple Madrox, the multiple man Hulk. Yeah, don't tell us how. That would be interesting. You know, don't get us emotionally involved in whatever happened in the future. That would be where the story is. And I assume like most modern day comics, and this is an assumption, no, we'll find out if I'm right or wrong, that once again, we're writing for the trades instead of for the comic book we're reading, and we're going to find all of this out in the next 6 issues, but you have to read forward to understand what's happening, and I'm wondering, will they ever really just decide that they're going to care about what the characters what are the characters' motivations and who the characters are, rather than what happens to them? Because from what we know here, from what we're seeing right here on these pages, is that they don't give a what happens to the characters, or they don't give a shit who the characters are, just what happens to them. So we see that they're all multiple men. And at the last one, he says, "We came back to help you. Why? Because you're a dumbass." Well, yeah, he is. And I feel like a dumbass for buying this book, and I feel like a dumbass for reading it. And gosh, I hope, if there's one thing I hope I can do right, is to steer you away from this horrible, horrible book. So, what did you think? That's my opinion. What is yours? Did you buy it? Did you hate it? Did you love it? Am I completely wrong? By all means, let me know in the comments below. But let me know why. Don't just say, "You suck, I loved it." Tell me why you loved it. Also, if you like this video, you know the drill. Click like, share, gets the word out about the channel. Yes, she does. We're good friends. Turn back time. That was about me. Anyway, just like the video, share the video, get word out about the channel. And if you haven't done it already, hit subscribe and notifications. Cool things happen around these parts. Also, this is the way we're trying to make a living. So if you don't mind helping us out, go on over to Patreon, drop $1 in the till. Helps keep the lights on and make better videos for you. We'd like to thank everybody who's already done that. And to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.